This season, your coffee orders are getting warmer, and your outfits are getting cozier. The world keeps changing, and so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're one of the best ways to help protect yourself against COVID-19. You can get a COVID-19 shot at the same visit as a flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Talk to your healthcare provider to learn more and schedule at vaccines.gov. And don't forget to get extra cinnamon spice. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Picture a swimmer backstroking through a pool of lime jelly. Now picture yourself getting the new iPhone 15 Pro. Now picture a lion and antelope hugging. Now picture yourself switching to Boost Infinite and getting the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Now picture that swimmer again, but this time it's you, and the pool is full of iPhones and baby ducks. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Switch today. Visit boostinfinite.com. That's boostinfinite.com. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement.
Hello. From Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month, we're talking about trendsetters, women whose vision, style, and willingness to break barriers changed culture, from what we wear to how we behave. Each year, the brightest stars of the moment ascend the stone steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Actresses are covered in crystals. Models are followed by mile-long trains of lush silk and satin. Everyone waits with bated breath for Rihanna to show up in a surprise, eye-catching ensemble. The Met Gala is widely considered the world's most glamorous and prestigious fashion event, and it wouldn't be possible without today's iconic Womanican. Meet Eleanor Lambert. Eleanor was born in 1903 in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Her father was a circus advance man. He would go out ahead of the traveling show to set up publicity and make arrangements. He clearly passed on to his daughter an ability to sell something to a crowd. When it came time to go to college, she first tried studying sculpture, first at John Herron School of Art and then at the Art Institute of Chicago. But she didn't stay long. In 1925, Eleanor moved to New York City, where she would be surrounded by art and culture to appreciate rather than make herself. In New York, Eleanor spent a brief time working at an advertising agency and a book publicist. Her boss there suggested Eleanor switch industries and try to sell something she knew more about. So Eleanor started a business of her own, advising artists about their work and how to distribute it. Her clients included John Curry and Isamu Noguchi. From there, she became the first press director of the brand new Whitney Museum of Art. In 1932, a fashion designer noticed some buzz Eleanor had created for a client in the press. She enlisted Eleanor to generate visibility for her own work. That's when Eleanor realized fashion was a form of art, like painting or sculpture. With this belief guiding her, she found her way into the fashion industry in New York City. As World War II waged in Europe, labor unions and manufacturers in the States were trying anything they could to keep the American economy strong. This included bolstering the fashion industry. At that time, Paris was the center of the fashion universe. New York, meanwhile, was the center of cheap knockoffs. The New York Dress Institute was formed with the mission to change this public perception and to get American women to buy American dresses. Eleanor Lambert was at its head. She knew there were American designers doing much more than just imitating European designs, and she wanted to showcase them. It was during her time at the New York Dress Institute that Eleanor came up with an idea that would change the fashion industry forever. Rather than have uncoordinated fashion shows throughout the year with little turnout, as was then the norm in the city, what if New York designers all showed their new designs in a coordinated week of events? Thus began New York Fashion Week, a biannual series of fashion shows all grouped together to allow for easy attendance and press coverage. In 1946, the Museum of Costume Art became the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute. Eleanor was an early and ardent supporter. In order to fundraise for the Institute, celebrate the annual exhibit, and showcase American fashion designers, she came up with the idea for a glitzy gala. The Met Gala still carries on today. Considered fashion's biggest night, it's one of the most exclusive social events in the world, and one of the biggest fundraising nights in New York City. Eleanor didn't stop there. In 1962, she founded the Council of Fashion Designers of America to bring more cohesion to the industry. She led the organization for more than a decade. Over time, American designs began to grace the pages of huge fashion magazines like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar. Eleanor's taste and opinions were influential. She maintained a best-dressed list. Women vied for the top spot. In the 1960s, Eleanor helped First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy find her signature style. After Women's Wear Daily magazine criticized the First Lady for wearing French designer Givenchy, she called up Eleanor for help. She needed some American designers to wear so she could serve looks patriotically. Eleanor introduced her to Halston and his new pillbox hat design, which would soon become a staple of Jackie's wardrobe. Eleanor also produced fashion shows around the globe to showcase American design to new audiences. One particularly notable show occurred in 1970 at the Palace of Versailles in France. The show was called The Battle of Versailles. It included French designers such as Givenchy, Yves Saint Laurent, and Coco Chanel. The American designers included Oscar de la Renta, Halston, Bill Blass, Stephen Burrows, and Anne Klein. It was an opportunity for American designers to prove their worth to Parisian audiences, though some people were skeptical they could make it happen. The show didn't just feature fashion. Josephine Baker performed a 2.5-hour set with a live orchestra and a live rhinoceros to open the French segment of the show. Liza Minnelli dazzled the crowd with Broadway vocals and voguing background dancers in the American portion. The next day, fashion publications reported Americans had won the Battle of Versailles. The show helped cement American designers among the ranks of the best of the international fashion community. Eleanor continued to work in fashion up until the very end of her life. "I still have all my marbles," she said. "I don't want to sit around waiting to die." After a long, impactful career, Eleanor passed away in 2003 in her home in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. She was 100 years old. All month, we're talking about Trendsetters. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. As always, we'll be taking a break for the weekend. Talk to you on Monday. Tune in tomorrow for a special bonus episode. Last month, I got to travel around the world with Nike to go to the World Cup in Australia. While I was there, I had the chance to interview 3 trendsetters leading the way at Nike. Tune in tomorrow to hear one of their stories.
This season, your coffee orders are getting warmer, and your outfits are getting cozier. The world keeps changing, and so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're one of the best ways to help protect yourself against COVID-19. You can get a COVID-19 shot at the same visit as a flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Talk to your healthcare provider to learn more and schedule at vaccines.gov. And don't forget to get extra cinnamon spice. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
CuriosityStream is the streaming service for people who want to know more. And now check out Curiosity's new series, Queens of Ancient Egypt. When pharaohs held the throne, their wives held the power.
We see her taking precedence over the pharaoh, an absolute mastermind.
All hail the queens.
This is unprecedented.
Watch Queens of Ancient Egypt now on CuriosityStream. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at CuriosityStream.com.
Now is the time to experience America's pastime in a whole new way. Major League Baseball has teamed up with T-Mobile for Business to advance the game with next-gen 5G solutions, going deeper with real-time data visualization, new camera angles that put fans on the field with their favorite players, and even testing an automated ball strike system in the minor leagues. This is the 5G era of baseball. See what we can do for your business at T-Mobile.com/now. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Officially licensed product of MLB Players Incorporated.